Hey everybody, happy Friday. It's another late night and it's another night for FlashBack Friday. This is the show on Dead Explorer where I try to do a live look back at old episodes, give you behind the scenes stories, show you never before seen footage, share information, and of course, have lots of fun in the chat room. Today's chat room question is: have you ever seen a ghost? And the reason why that's today's question is because today I'm going to show you one of the most asked for videos on YouTube, all YouTube, of people who are Dead Explorer fans, the people who want to see Dead Explorer Episode One. In fact, if you go on YouTube and actually look up Dead Explorer, let me see, I can actually show y'all. What you will commonly see is that if you type in Dead Explorer, Episode 1 is actually like the fourth most search item on there. And of course, full episodes, EVPs, a hospital. I'm not sure exactly what episode people are thinking about on the hospital, but that's kind of like an idea. Yeah, the people have been looking for Dead Explorer Episode 1. And so, why have people been looking for Dead Explorer Episode 1? Well, basically, because it really doesn't exist. It does, but it doesn't. There is actually what I would call the unofficial Dead Explorer Episode 1 on my channel. It's actually was an urban exploration video. It formerly didn't even have the name Dead Explorer on it. But that was the first episode of Dead Explorer. But if you really want to know what my first ghost hunting video was, it was a video that I shot in 2011 at Oakwood Cemetery. And today I'm not only going to show you that video, because that video is on YouTube, it's just not called Dead Explorer. I'm going to show you a version that nobody's ever seen before, not online, a 12-minute version of that investigation. So my first ever investigation, originally on YouTube, it was about a minute and a half long, maybe 2 minutes. And today I'm going to show you for the first time live the a 12-minute version of that video. So I'm pretty excited. The only time somebody's ever seen that video was if you ever went to one of the Paracons or one of my live events where I had a DVD called Haunted Moon River. One of the bonus features was this investigation. But today, for the first time, I'm actually going to show it to everybody. Hey, everybody in the chat room, Concho Valley Paranormal. I'm assuming that's either Dylan, one of my good friends, or Mr. Trevel on board, and I haven't seen a ghost yet. So let me back up as I'm loading up some of the stuff for you to go ahead and get the video started. For those who don't know who I am, my name is Alejandro Dominguez. I am a paranormal investigator and filmmaker, known as the Dead Explorer. I've had a YouTube channel for 5-6 years now. Actually, some of my earliest stuff was not paranormal related. It was more involved with the different types of videos I like to make as a filmmaker. And about 5 years ago, in 2011, with one of these videos I'm about to show you, it was the first time that I decided to go full time and make all my videos about ghost hunting when I was a young boy in Mexico. Those of you who've been watching the show already know this. I had an experience in a ghost, and that's kind of what has drawn me into the paranormal, to see if I can recreate that experience. And so back in September of 2011, I grabbed a camcorder and I went out to Oakwood Cemetery, which is considered one of the most haunted cemeteries here in Austin, Texas, where I'm from. And it's very interesting. It was known as City Cemetery. It's considered one of the most haunted places in Austin, Texas. This is a write up I did on it on my website, deadexplorer.com, and it's a great place for history buffs and paranormal investigators. It's got some beautiful, buildings and what have you. These are some of my photographs from my blog that I put up in October 2011. But legend states that the first tenants were victims of a Comanche attack, and their bodies were laid to rest in the hill in the 1850s. And later on, dead paupers, what we know as as homeless people. Now we're used to medical experiments at the university. Austin's the home of the University of Texas, and they were buried in unmarked graves on the cemetery south side. Another thing is that you'll see in the videos there are unmarked graves for anybody who just couldn't afford a tombstone. Now, despite its protected status, there has been crime and vandalism decay for decades, which is a big bummer. And here are some of the pictures that I took of the place. Just beloved mother, father. What else? Yep, 3 crosses that I thought were really neat. I'm going through those really fast, huh? And some unmarked soldier tombstones that are just all over the place. So that's kind of a bummer. These people, it's a shame, they gave their life as soldiers, and they don't even get their name on a tombstone. Just an interesting fact: the cemetery covers over 40,000 acres with 23,000 graves. And so, with that being said, this is the place I wanted to go investigate. The first time I ever wanted to go ghost hunting. Basically, I was out with my friend David, who you'll see in the video, and we were actually having beers at one of the wings places, and I said, hey, let's go shoot a ghost hunting video. I've always wanted to do it. I was a big fan of the ghost hunting shows on TV, and I wanted to go and try to do some ghost hunting on my own. And to be honest with you, it was more of a thrill-seeking thing. This is before I knew anything about paranormal research. I was a big history buff. Like I said, I had been making videos on YouTube for a while. Hey, Robert from Barefoot Paranormal. Hi, epic YouTubers. Hello, hello. Angela, hello, hello. I was a very busy YouTuber very early on. And so the making the videos, that wasn't unusual. That's something I was doing about anything that I found interesting. Just going back in time a little bit, if you look on my channel, this is obviously from within my channel. In the very beginning, I made videos about Bruce Lee quotes, and one time that I fell 9 feet onto my back trying to train for Ninja Warrior back in 2011. Zombie homemade weapons. I was making all types of videos. I really just wanted to make YouTube some videos about stuff that I love. Goals from the heart. Aw, so sweet. I even did a little show called The Weekly Flash that was actually kind of cool. Back then, what I did is I did a big shout out for best investigation teams, other investigators that I was a big fan of on YouTube. One being SAGAPS, and another group called Super Paranormal Action Team. And you gotta realize this is in the very early days of YouTube, and I'll put a link to this video in the description box below or in the chat room, so if anybody wants to check it out. But these were like the videos I was making before I started ghost hunting. And oops, there I am. And later on, I decided to make a ghost hunting video of my own. And so the video I'm about to show you was a video that was on YouTube. It was only, like I said, I don't know, a minute and a half long, 2 minutes, not very long at all, like all my videos at the beginning. But I left a lot of footage on the cutting room floor. In fact, even more than what I'm going to show you today. But like again, today's going to be the first time I'm going to show you the full 12-minute version. I'm trying to see how long it is. I'm really curious now. 3 minutes. Okay, so it was 3 minutes long. I'm cutting it a little short. So without much further ado, why don't we just switch over to the video? Again, as you're in the chat room talking to other people, if you ever seen a ghost, make sure you mention the chat room. And if you watch this video later on, just mention in the comment section. Just so you know, after we watch this video, I am going to show y'all a sneak preview of my next investigation that's coming up, and I'm going to show you another flashback video, another one of my ghost hunting videos that I did before Dead Explorer started. So you're going to see things about these videos that are way different than what Dead Explorer fans are used to now. And it'll be kind of fun maybe to look at a newer video and just compare and contrast as well. So there's going to be a lot of stuff to share tonight. If anytime there's any issues with the broadcast, please mention in the comment room. I'm about 30 seconds behind y'all, so that helps me know. It might be a delay before I find out, but mention the chat room. I'll be talking with you as we're watching the videos in the chat room as well. I'll occasionally stop so we can have conversations if anybody has a question about something specifically in the video. You can also hit me on Twitter at @tweetalejandro if you think you need to find me via Twitter to let me know something about the video or have a question. That link is in the description box below. All right, so let's go ahead and start the video. I can't wait to show it to you. It's kind of fun to go back. 2011, 5 years. It's been now officially 5 years since my first paranormal video on YouTube. And it's fun to look back. Let's see where we've gone since the beginning. And I appreciate all the fans who are here over the years. Hey, Robert from Barefoot Paranormal, Sandra.
Burials began at Oakwood
Nice to see y'all.
Cemetery in the fall of 1839. Reportedly, one of the first graves belonged to an African-American slave who was attacked by Indians near Walnut Creek.
Oakwood Cemetery is filled with some beautiful and elaborate memorials to some of the most richest and powerful families in the history of Austin. But then you get to the edge of the cemetery and you start finding these simple tombstones with no names, dedicated to the people who have been forgotten over time, those who were not rich, those who were not powerful. And this is where they say the most haunting takes place, on these unmarked tombstones at the edge of the cemetery. Right here at this location near some of those unmarked graves is the perfect example of the social and economic divide that can be found at Oakwood Cemetery. Right here, divided by this fence. On this side of this fence right here, there's elaborate, beautiful headstones, some of them taller than me, 6, 7 feet tall. And then on this side of the fence is the unmarked graves and the small tombstones of those who are not rich and powerful. Are these the grave sites that have activity that everybody talks about? We're gonna come back tonight and try to find out.
All right, I'm going to stop this for a second. So I actually just remembered something watching the beginning. The little piano part in the beginning, in these pictures, I took all these pictures, but the little piano part in the beginning, let's see if I can find it.
Reportedly, one of the first graves belonged to an African-American slave who was attacked by Indians near Walnut Creek. Burials began at Oakwood Cemetery in the fall of 1839. Reportedly, one of the first graves belonged to an African-American slave was attacked by Indians near Walnut Creek.
So I actually played that piano part on my piano, and if anybody watched the Temple of Blood video I did earlier last month with El Rey Network and YouTube that came out on my channel, it was my scripted. It's a short little horror movie. It's about 3 minutes long. It's a little cheesy, but you know, I did what I could do. I was a big fan of 1980s movies, John Carpenter, obviously Temple of Doom. I got this movie Temple of Blood, but if anybody checks that video out, I actually wrote the music for that video, the whole video. Well, I scored it. Another thing that I thought was kind of cool in the beginning of this video was obviously this Freemason tombstone is the reason why I put it in the video. It just stuck out to me, kind of like a little bit of, you know, anything with Freemasons kind of really catches my interest, just partially because I'm kind of a partial conspiracy theory fanatic. I actually want to do some conspiracy theory videos in 2017. But check this tombstone out. It's really super beat up. It's really tragic. And there were tombstones like that all over the place. And then here's a bunch of those U.S. soldier tombstones that you can see just all up and down the fence, just all up and down it. All they say is U.S. soldier. There's no names on it. I'm going to turn my cursor on so I can point those out. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 unmarked graves close to the street. The graves closest to the street were the ones that were, you know, people with less money. It's not the prime area of the cemetery. Those who didn't have money were not awarded a nice area. And then, of course, in this video, I'm pointing out that there are areas of the tombstone where the exact opposite is that there's gigantic monoliths and beautiful architecture. You can even see some of the pictures of beautiful architecture in the intro with big crosses, this angel. And I'm a big fan of cemeteries. I don't know if anybody ever goes and spends any time on cemeteries like I do. Anybody in the chat room that loves to spend times in cemeteries like me, I love them because I feel like they're really tranquil, really relaxing. I'm kind of drawn to them. I find them to be really peaceful. And so I just find those kind of places, that kind of gothic architecture to be really beautiful. So the fog, little let's start. We might want to start a side conversation while we're watching the video. Mr. Trevel says the fog is one of his favorite John Carpenter movies. I like it too. I think it's severely underrated. I never saw the remake. I didn't see why I should. I probably should at some point if it's on Netflix or something. But my top John Carpenter movies are. I know everybody says The Thing, but I love The Thing, so I'm gonna throw it out there. Uh, Escape from New York, Big Trouble in Little China, The Fog, and then maybe Prince of Darkness after that. But I'm a big a fan of all his work. Little side conversation. If you like John Carpenter movies, make comments on the section below, and check out Temple of Blood on my channel or my website. Just go on deadexplorer.com, search Temple of Blood, and you'll see it. All right, here we are. Back to the video.
Based on the small tombstones of those who are not rich and powerful, are these the grave sites that have the activity that everybody talks about?
By the way, I don't have this much hair now, and
We're gonna come back
Why do-
tonight and try to find out.
why do you think I always wear a cap? And we want to come back. This is Navasota Street. The most haunted part of the cemetery is along this street right here. As you can see, just come up to this gate, you immediately just get this feeling that there's just something going on in there. And if you go down the street where they say it's most haunted, they got 12-foot barbed wire fences to keep people at night. They do not want people in the cemetery at night. This right here is just the entrance, but if you go to those unmarked graveyards where the ghosts are said to be, they got 12-foot fences with barbed wire around them. It's insane. And here we are. Hopefully we'll catch them. We'll take some photos. We'll try to catch them. My boy Dave and me are here, so we're gonna do this. So this guy right here, it's actually security that just walked over here. He's walking away, but he just walked over here to see us, I guess to make sure we weren't gonna break in. Let's go around. I said we drive around once, kind of scope out where. So this was actually a big moment of truth for me. I really obviously wanted to get inside the cemetery. I had been in the cemetery during the daytime, and I wanted to go back in to investigate. But this is probably like one of those moments where I probably in some way defined how I would approach ghost hunting from that point forward. I did not want to trespass. I didn't want to break into this place. And I'm kind of, at the time I did it just kind of like not to get in trouble, but now the more experienced of an investigator I am, the more I even realize how valuable and important it is not to trespass, especially because if you trespass somewhere, you give other paranormal investigators a bad name. It would make it really hard for them to go investigate. Security gets harder. It's better to work with these locations, create good relationships to be able to investigate these places from the future. So everybody who's just joined in, just a quick a recap of what's going on. We're 20 minutes into tonight's episode of FlashBack Friday. This is the show I do on Fridays where I go over old episodes, share behind-the-scenes stories, never before seen footage of old Dead Explorer videos. We couldn't go any older than this episode tonight. We're looking at Dead Explorer Episode 1. This is the spiritual Dead Explorer Episode 1. It's not really a Dead Explorer episode, but it was the first paranormal investigation I ever did, that I ever put on YouTube. And on top of that, this is over 9 minutes of never before seen footage in this investigation, because originally this got released in October 2011. It was 3 minutes long, and tonight I'm showing you a 12-minute version of this video. Why is it 12 minutes? Well, partially because this is the first time I did an investigation. I did something that no investigator should really do. I hit record and stop, all the time. I didn't leave the camera rolling. I actually came back with very little footage. So almost everything that was part of the investigation you guys are seeing, I was just trying to figure out what to shoot, what to do, what I'm supposed to do, and kind of just doing the stuff I'd seen on TV up to this point. And this is before I got any experience being a really good investigator. So we're going to keep watching the video. We're basically just getting to the part of the video, the meat of the investigation. Let's watch that. And again, if you're in the chat room, today's question is, have you ever seen a ghost? Pretty simple, yes or no. Be a good place to kind of try to do some of this stuff at, even if there's a location that we can kind of...
Ooh, we should get this tower here. This.
You know what? Why don't we park here?
All right.
I mean, right here, it almost looks like you could almost get in if you wanted to. If that was your intention.
Ooh, that's creepy right there. That statue with the angel up there.
The light here is so good by these lights.
Yep.
See, this is the original cemetery right here.
This is the oldest one.
The oldest one. And the annex with the cadavers is out this way. All right, homie.
All right, the hunt's on. Just observation.
Observations. We're actually not in a very good area of town shooting this video. So since we've been here, we've heard a lot of police sirens.
Yeah.
They got these enormous fence
With barbed wire.
with barbed wire on the top to try to keep people out. And that's why we're not doing any shots in the inside. Because we're not, there's just so much police out here, you just don't want to get their attention. So we're not breaking and entering.
You don't even know what's going on inside of this place. If someone did get in.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, this is an area of Austin that historically has had a lot of gang activity, a lot of criminal activity, but it's just an amazing location.
So one of the things I just finished saying, and so it just goes to show what's changed in 5 years. This is shot in the east side of Austin, an area that traditionally was considered, just an area where there was lower income families. And over the last 5 years, all that area near downtown Austin has been gentrified. It's actually no longer this area where people could find affordable housing near Austin. Now a bunch of people come in and convert that area into this really high-end condos, developments, a lot of hipster bars and things like that. So that has changed. The other thing that you've probably noticed in this video is that I'm shooting in with no night vision. This was actually shot with a very cheap camera. I actually have it right here. Keep it back here. And so my first investigation video, where am I? I'm gonna show it to y'all. Was shot with this little handheld camera. So this thing in no way could really shoot in night vision, so it's in super grainy low vision. But it only goes to show that if you want to do ghost hunting, you don't really need to spend a lot of money on high-end gear. In fact, you don't even need a camera. You can just go out and experience it for yourself. I wanted, obviously I had been filming videos at the time for YouTube. I showed everybody who was here in the beginning of this live show some of my older videos that I used to shoot, and I used to do it with these little cameras. So this is kind of one of those like no excuses. You can start ghost hunting. And so actually for the first part of Dead Explorer, I'd say for the first almost year, I was shooting it with this. I never had night vision. And over the years I've started, after years 2, 3, 4, 5, I did use night vision. But really in the last year, one of the things I really come to appreciate is actually shooting videos with no special light vision. So that's that. I'll put that right there. I got a question in the chat room. and we'll go back to the video about what's the best EMF meter to get under $50. I'm a big fan of K2s, and you can find them probably cheap on eBay, a used one, even on Amazon. Mel meters are neat too, but the K2, just look for it on eBay, look for it used. You'll probably find it for about $50, and that's actually a really good one to use. I hope that helps. So I'm actually walking. So in this video, what we've done is I showed the history of the cemetery. We try to go to the front to see if it could open up. There's security. There's a sign that says no trespassing. So at this point, Dave and I, and this is the only time David's ever, that night's the only time David's ever done any ghost hunting videos. That guy is pretty scared of ghosts. In fact, if I show you another clip from another video, he and I practically run out of another location that we did on that same night, like in under 5 minutes. Pretty funny stuff. But now we're driving around the outside. We decided to park, leave our car in the alley, try to walk the rest. Just try to get close to anything or get a feel for anything that kind of stuck out. So that's where we're at.
You know, David, if there was a spot that we could get into, it's almost that little crawl underneath there. Maybe if we see somebody, we'll have to go in.
Yeah. This is like the Crips versus the Bloods.
It is, man. It's blue versus red. Like I said, I never knew that the Crips were mongooses. Cobra.
Native. This is native right here.
What could that mean? What kind of message are the people from the other side trying to give us? It's really hot right here. Feel this.
Yeah, it is. It's coming from all the hurt.
If you want to see what a real unmarked grave looks like, this is what you get. It's just these, what would you say, 1 by 2 little gravestones. These are the unmarked oldest gravestones. They're all on the edge of the cemetery. They're not for rich people, they're for paupers, poor people. They're just put on the sides. And they say this is the most haunted part of the cemetery right here. It's these gravestones. They say that these gravestones here are the most haunted. Look at that, David. It's just creepy. Look at them.
It is creepy.
So really what we were trying to do is see if we could find out any part of the cemetery that just kind of gave us a creepy vibe. From the outside, there was actually an area in a little bit
That little bitty thing, though, man.
where we really felt some
Makes you
cold
wonder
spots.
what that one's all about.
David, what's going on is that David keeps getting drawn back to this little stone right here. I'm going to zoom in. We're on the outside. If you look at this big one, which is only about, what would you say, David, 2 feet high? Hey, David, move over here next to this gravestone right here so people can get a point of reference.
Right.
Yeah, see, there's David's head. There's that tombstone. And behind there, if you can see that, I'm trying to point to it. I'm going to zoom in. It's an itty bitty one that's maybe about 6 inches tall at the most. And David keeps getting drawn to it. Why do you keep getting drawn to it, David?
I don't know. It just makes you wonder why it's the smallest one in here. It's so nondescript. It makes you wonder what that's all about.
Like, are you getting any kind of vibes from it at all, or what?
Maybe a little bit. I don't know. It just makes me really curious about what's going on with that one. And I think when we were reviewing those pictures earlier, we were seeing orbs at this one right here. So it could be coming from that area.
I think the orbs are actually just a little bit up this way, but this is actually what they say is the most haunted part of the cemetery. Actually, I'm getting really good quality video in here right now, so I'm gonna leave it on there, see if we get anything, then take a couple shots. It is really small. It makes you wonder if who's buried there. Over here we have what is basically two unmarked graves stacked up right on top of each other.
Can you imagine that? That's a pretty tough.
You gotta wonder how the souls in this particular gravesite feel, knowing that they basically stacked two graves right on top of each other.
Actually, three. There's one back there, too.
Is there a third one too?
The third one right there.
Wow. Wow, that's incredible.
And I don't really know if it's 3 burials per se, but it is pretty intense to see 3 tombstones right like that back to back next to a tree.
Three graves just on top of each other. Makes you wonder if it's a family. Somebody, I mean, they're very crudely made. You know, you gotta wonder who it was.
Nondescript, small little things. And then you have the fence right here, and you have all these big, ornate obelisks and statues, whatever else.
So what you can see is that there's a fence right here that divides the unmarked graves on the left side from these huge ornate graves, these huge headstones that are just incredible. You can really see the difference in class.
And so this is a shot I got just by sticking the camera over the fence. You're probably one of the nicest
What
parts
you hear?
of the cemetery.
Like a barking, shrill, like a shrill barking, kind of like a yipping sound. Like a, almost like a, it was real high pitched.
Yeah, I heard a
Kind of a real quick high pitched.
quick high-pitched sound. Like right after we just finished.
Coming from that direction, right?
Come from which direction, David?
Straight back that way.
Straight back that way?
Yeah, but not real far. I heard it though. I heard it.
Okay. What happened so far is that David and I, we've been out in this cemetery for half an hour. We haven't really felt anything, seen anything. And all of a sudden, walking down this alley, we passed these gravestones where all of a sudden it felt different. Like your chest got tight. All of a sudden, it just felt like this weight on me. And it's this gravestone in particular. I'm looking at it. I can't see a marker. And what happened was that here at Oakwood Cemetery, this is the cemetery that they used to dump cadavers that scientists would do experiments on in the early 1900s. Medical students would take paupers, homeless people, and perform experiments right after they died. And it became such a problem that they finally just started dumping them here at this cemetery. And they say that any gravestone in this particular area without a name is most likely one of those paupers that was experimented on and whose bodies were desecrated before they were buried. So we're feeling something, we've heard something, we feel something, just something to say, and we'll just take some photographs, see if we can catch anything with photographs. There's any, we were just having complete.
Actually, just watching this right now, I was noticing. Hold on. Kind of this area right here, a little bit of. Let's see again. Maybe some kind of pixelization.
Cadavers that scientists would do
Right here?
experiments on in the early
Watch,
1900s. Medical students would take paupers, homeless people, and perform experiments
that?
right after they died. And it became such a problem that they finally just started dumping them here at this cemetery. And they say that any gravestone in this particular area without a name is most likely one of those paupers that was experimented on and whose bodies were desecrated before they were buried. So we're feeling something, we've heard something, we feel something, just something to say, and we'll just take some photographs, see if we can catch anything with photographs. There's any.
Yeah, probably just the pixelization. So again, this was very early on. This is before I had any kind of camera that would shoot in high light, and you realize how much of an effect that has on a video and what might look like something in the background might just be the result of a camera. So for me, I'm really, really skeptical. I think you always have to ask the question, why did you get something on a camera? Why did you get an orb? Why did you get an image? Is it really there, or is it just something? And then it's not the price of the camera, it's not the quality of the camera, it's just the realization that cameras is a piece of equipment, and any kind of picture you take can be a result of a mechanical quality or a mechanical error, or it could be the result of just the optics playing creating a significant image that in no way is paranormal. So I've seen stuff in real life. Like I said, when I was a kid, I saw a ghost, but without a doubt, there's a lot of people who send me pictures, and I've seen some ones that blow my mind. I mean, seriously, people send me pictures on Facebook, facebook.com/Deck Explorer. It blows my mind, some of the pictures I get, but then every once in a while I get some, and I'm like, I have to ask, I have to be skeptical, I have to wonder why they got the pictures that they did. And so I'm watching this video and I'm seeing this little bit of a pixelization in the background. Is it mist? Is it fog? But then watching it for longer than 5 seconds, I realized it's just a result of whatever optics I had at the time. It was part of the image quality or part of just the imaging period. The shutter speed. I had the shutter up and really wide to capture something with such a small little camcorder that at the time was super, super small. So it's, that's kind of my 2 cents about visual evidence. We were just having a complete off-topic conversation. I don't think there's been anything so far tonight that's really just like weirded us out, or I don't think we've had any kind of creeped out feeling. That's all of a sudden right here. Do you feel it?
I felt it. I definitely felt it. When we both stopped at the same time, we were like, this is different.
What do you feel, man?
It got cold.
It is cold. It's real cold. I'm getting goosebumps, man.
Yeah, totally. My hair stood up.
Your hair stood up?
It's still standing up right now.
Mine stood up too. Oh man, it's so cold right here.
It gives me the goosebumps right here, yeah.
Dave, point. Okay, so I know what the skeptics are watching. And by the way, those in the chat room, yeah, the fact that they used to take homeless people and bury them, well, experiment them and then bury them, something straight out of Frankenstein. You gotta realize sometimes, reality is stranger than fiction. Pretty messed up stuff, But I know what the skeptics are thinking watching this right now. Or the trollers or the haters. I know they're skeptics, which is fine. I respect skeptics. Everybody can have their own opinion. Skeptics can have their own opinion. I respect y'all. Skeptics don't get upset. But the trolls, I know what they're saying. It's a bunch of guys are overreacting to a cold spot. Is it proof that there's ghosts? I'm going to play the rest of this video, and we have this thing with the cold spots and the strange feelings and stuff like that. And, there is creepy. We heard a little shriek sound. But, what a lot of people don't realize is, one, the kind of evidence that people think we're supposed to capture every time, it doesn't happen, okay? It's not The Conjuring. I'm not going to have something that looks like a Hollywood production ghost on camera every time I investigate. It's just not going to happen. It's real life. So what happens a lot are personal experiences. Experiences that I myself, who wants to find out if ghosts exist, go out to try to experience for myself. Not for other people, but for myself. And I don't mean that to sound standoffish, but everybody's got to go about it in a way that feels right to them. And then other people are going to dig it, other people are not. Which is fine. There's room for everybody. But I know there's going to be somebody saying, because on all my videos, when this happens, somebody's going to say something. So I get to address it. I'll say this, my most popular video, the one with over 600,000 views, is the one where nothing happened. And in the end of the video, I say, even though nothing happened, staff still believes that this place is haunted. I'll share it when nothing happens. But sometimes investigators have personal experiences to prove that there's ghosts, to prove that there's paranormal. No. But every investigation, every experience is a way for investigators to become better, to know a little bit more about themselves, a little bit more about what they're doing, because there are times that there is really substantial evidence. They're ready to capture it. They're ready to capture it. And that's worth a lot. It's a journey. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Ghost hunting is not a sprint. Believe me, it's hard work. These videos that I put up, hard work. This office, I rented it because I don't have space in my own house. Not so much time and space and money I put into doing this research. So anybody who has an experience, anybody who's seen anything, those who are just hating to hate are discounting a lot of people's personal experiences. Discounting people's emotions, disrespecting what people believe to be true. Which is part of the trouble nowadays anyway, right? Nobody allows somebody else to have an opinion of their own. So let's watch the rest of the video. This is actually really fun, watching this video. And thanks for people in the chat room who are chiming in. I appreciate it. No, I want to keep doing these videos on Fridays. As long as I feel like people want to see them, I'll keep doing them. If you want to see these videos, let me know in the comment section. So here we are with our cold spots.
Put your hands where it's cold, man.
It's like right here. This whole area. All this area right
It's
here.
cold.
You step back a few steps and you don't feel it.
Elvira Patters. I mean, I'm kind of like, my stomach's being kind of just starting to. It's like it feels like it's hard to breathe. It's like all of a sudden you get punched or something. Wow.
Yeah, we definitely both stopped at the same time. It's kind of gone now.
Is it gone?
Yeah.
Why don't we try, like, you want to try, do, like, voice recordings?
Don't you have to provoke them?
No, you don't gotta provoke nobody. Just,
But wouldn't that thing pick them up too?
I don't know. Well, here, I'll ask some questions, and don't say anything,
Okay.
okay?
This is literally two people who've never investigated going out because what they've seen on TV. And so if you listen to what he said, it's like, what do we do? Aren't we supposed to record voices? Aren't we supposed to provoke them? Why? Because that's what we've seen on television. So funny. So funny. People who are hardcore Dead Explorer fans know that I typically do not provoke. Very rarely. Few occasions when it's necessary. Topic for another show. But it's so funny. Literally, my first investigation on camera, we're talking about stuff like we're trying to figure out what is it that we see on Ghost Adventures. Cracks me up. Should we provoke? What do we do? Is that going to record it? Silly. Silly. Hey, everybody in the chat room. Wolf Wilderness, Earl, Lori. Earl says, I really believe paranormal ghosts and many more. I also love your videos. Thank you very much. I love all of y'all. For those who just joined, there's a couple of new people. We're watching my first investigation. Never before seen footage. I did put part of this video, 3 minutes of it, on YouTube in October 2011. But this is the 12-minute version, the stuff you never seen. Two guys trying to figure out what the hell they're supposed to do. Ghost hunting. It's kind of funny.
Is there anybody here right now? What do you ask now?
Do you have anything you want to tell us?
Yeah.
Why did you stop us here?
That's actually a good question.
Do you like being at the Oakwood Cemetery?
Do you want to be famous because you're on camera right now?
I laughed at the same joke from 5 years ago just now.
Do you like visitors?
This is your chance to say what you want to say.
I think it's almost this. It's got like this stone, this gravesite right here, right?
Yeah.
Elvira Batter, born 1806, died 1891.
I should really go back to that tombstone.
Elvira, we mean you no disrespect. We're just visitors. We're visiting your home. We just want to come pay our respects and visit your home and say hello if you want to say hello back. Do you want to say anything to us? Do you like visitors?
Okay. That is actually the end. And so, like I said earlier, if you were watching earlier, here, let me switch out so y'all, we could see each other. Here, I'm going to turn that off. For those who are watching this for the first time or have been watching this for the last couple of weeks, I literally control everything you're seeing myself. There's nobody else in here. So I come in, I put the camera on a tripod, I set up a light, I load these videos, I make the artwork, and then I jump back and forth between myself, the video player, my website if I want to show y'all a website. It's actually a lot of fun. And I've used the same technology to do live investigations. And I look forward to doing that again. You know, I got to tell you, for doing that the first time, I think I was a little tough on myself earlier. We actually ended up asking some pretty okay questions, but if I'm going to share something with you that I never talked about on camera before, it's just the first year of asking questions in the dark with nobody answering you is super, super awkward. You really have to be committed. You go for it. I'm going to talk to something that's not there. And I did a FlashBack Friday episode last month. The first one I did, it wouldn't be that hard. It should be on my channel on deckexplorer.com. It'll be on the first page. The little ghost girl that talked to us. That's the first time I was like, oh man. Something could actually happen. Hey Clavin, how you doing? He says he stopped doing, or she, I'm sorry. I'm either one. Clavin Gomez. Stopped doing cemeteries. Something followed me and harassed my family. I really like to hear more of that story. And if you can share it while we're still together. But yeah, that was Deck Explorer episode 1. Unofficial Deck Explorer episode 1. Basically, the first time I went out somewhere with a camera, and did something, I put it on YouTube. Lori just made a comment, kind of actually made me stop and think, and she's right. She did her first investigation in her own home. Not sure if it was the brightest day. I don't know. Lori, I got the kiddos, so I don't do that stuff at the house. I don't really think my house is haunted anyway. I think it just depends on the circumstances, right? If you live in a very historic house, you have reason to believe there's activity. You might want to get to the bottom of it or communicate or just have some kind of relationship. So I can see the logic behind it for sure. I'm always worried about anything following me home. It's the last thing I would want to happen. Not necessarily because it'd be a horrible thing. Doesn't mean it automatically would be. There's just some things, some paths you want to keep separate. As an investigator, you got to protect yourself. You got to protect yourself from things that you just don't know could be evil. I did a video maybe 2 years ago. I talked about my story about how a Wiccan witch from Spain sent me a message telling me I had a curse on me. I actually get a lot of comments on YouTube, people telling me there's something attached to me. I shrug them off on the most part. Sometimes I wonder though, what if they're right? Who am I to say that they don't really have a gift? That they can see or know about spirits way better than I can? I suppose that's very, very possible. In my case, when this lady from Portugal told me there was a curse on me, and I don't know what you would do if I was me, but she told me there's a curse. She said, rub these 3 herbs on you 3 days in a row in boiling water, pour it on yourself, take a shower, go down, don't go up. You go up with this water, you'll bring the curse in. You go down, you wash the curse away. I thought, what's the worst thing that happened? There's herbs and shampoo. There's herbs and soap. Seems like a pretty innocent thing to do. What the heck? What if she's right? Her name's Brianna. She's from Portugal. And on the 3rd day, I pour it down and I hear a thunderclap. Boom! Big burst. I'm standing in the shower thinking it must be raining outside. Big storm's coming in. Take my shower, wash the stuff off, go out and see my wife and ask her, hey, well, did it rain? It's sunny. I walk out, I'm shocked, it's sunny. And I asked her, what happened? Did it rain? Did you hear thunder? She's like, no, it's been sunny. I asked her if she heard that thunder that was so loud in that shower. She said, no, she didn't hear it. And in a way, I felt better. I didn't necessarily know there was something wrong with me, but I felt better. Power suggestion or it was real? One or the other. And I know some people, Lori, saying they believe there are some sensitives. I believe it too. To a certain extent, I'm even sensitive. I got empath tendencies where I can feel emotions of other people. Sometimes I noticed when I was very young, I would feel sadness and I didn't know why because I wasn't sad. Or I would feel stress and I knew I wasn't stressed out. I could just pick that stuff up. Somebody said in the chat room they're warm where they're at. Must be nice. I got my hoodie on. There's somebody in the chat room that I've been talking to. I really would like to go to India. He says there's haunted locations in India. He's from India. I'm really interested in places where there's a lot of tradition and legends and another perspective about the paranormal than what we have here in the United States. I think going to India would be amazing. Rusi, I don't know if you're asking who's on Facebook. All my social media links are in the YouTube in the description box. Angela says she's not only a paranormal investigator, but she's a medium. So I'm really curious to hear about her opinion about how the two overlap. For me, I try to keep them separate. I feel like I'm vulnerable if my emotions can be manipulated. So I try to keep that part shut. Only a couple occasions do I say, what am I feeling? What's it telling me? I'm going to believe this feeling like there's a sad entity here who needs help. Just based on a feeling. I know skeptics are going to knock on that. Trolls are going to hate on that. Again, skeptics are fine. Haters, different thing. But what is so wrong with saying these things are possible? Why do people want to dismiss that? Because we're told those things are not possible? Because only certain things are okay and some things are not okay? Until it says it's possible I'm a sensitive. I don't know. I kind of thought about it as an empath. I haven't really figured that out. So it said they poped in their pants. Great. Congratulations. Good for you. There's actually another video I shot that night with David. I think we have enough time to watch it. I don't really... everybody's in the chat room. I don't see any reason why. Let's just stop. There's a train going by behind me. I'll get that opened up. And so I did shoot 2 videos. The nighttime portions, at least, on the same day. And then I went and recorded some of the history stuff in the beginning of these videos afterwards. And so this video is extremely different than my current videos. Those people who sit in their chat room, they're big fans. Check this out. I don't know if you've seen this. This is back when my channel was called Alejandro in Austin. It really still is. I never called my channel Dead Explorer. If you look at the YouTube URL, it's youtube.com/Alejandro in Austin. I'm Alejandro. I live in Austin, Texas. I know, very original. But it was random videos. And my first paranormal videos were random. So these 2 videos are spiritually Dead Explorer episode 1. 1A, 1B. Take your choice. Take your choice, I should say. And there's one more video that I would call Dead Explorer 1C. And a lot of people have been looking for this. You type in yourself, go into YouTube, type Dead Explorer, and you'll see that it says Dead Explorer episode 1. So this is the first time I've addressed this in 5 years. People in the chat room right now. This is kind of like the first time people have really dived deep into this topic. it's kind of fun to share with y'all and talk about these different things. All right, let's check out this video. Let me switch to the video player. Let me load it up.
Hey everybody, this is Alejandro in Austin. Happy Wednesday. And Halloween.
There we go.
All month long, we're going.
It's a choppy video. It's old. This video right here is 5 years old. This is shot in my garage of my house. Have a fake brick wall. Put a little bulletin board up. The bulletin board has Morse bridge on it. These pictures right here actually are from Mexican temples that I visited. Postcards from Teotihuacan. I'm actually originally from Mexico City, so that was going home for me.
Happy Wednesday. In honor of Halloween, all month long, we're going to the most haunted places in Austin trying to capture some paranormal activity. This week we went out to Moorbridge Road, the site of an infamous 1800 hanging. Check it out. I wish you guys could see this place with me right now. It's actually, on this fall day, very beautiful. But then you remember the history of this bridge where lynch mobs came out here and hung people for crimes as innocent as a white man having a relationship with a black woman. They would be hung out here, and they say that the ghost of that man can be seen at midnight on top of these rafters, and that his girlfriend, the black female in the 1800s, she can be seen to this day down the ravine looking up at her boyfriend's body. I just heard some noises that freaked me out, man. I'm in the middle of nowhere, and I swear I heard footsteps, and I got goosebumps. I don't know if you can see that, but
Okay, I gotta correct something. I am in the middle of nowhere, but I'm not. You can see back here, there's my car. There's a barricade. You're not going to get any closer to the bridge than parking that barricade. That road right there is super creepy. I shot the daytime part after I went at night. I don't know if I acknowledged that in this video or not, but I did. So I had already been to this place at night. Now this is actually my first time to see it in the day. I know it was creepy because I was there at nighttime. It was creepy because when I drove in there down this road, I passed a house that looked like Chainsaw Massacre. So imagine seeing that first time going out, go sun, have to pass that road, that house. It's the dead end. It's a barricade. And if some crazy hillbilly with a chainsaw wanted to come and get me, they could have. Especially at nighttime. There's definitely graffiti there. You'll see that in the video. So people obviously trespassed there. Now, the opposite side of this bridge leads to a trail that leads to a park called Richard Moya Park, which does have playground equipment within the area. So, yeah, there's people who will see this bridge and say, this is a bridge near a park. At nighttime, it's not that simple. In fact, the reason I went down the back road, which is open obviously 24 hours, is the park part closes. So you're not going to go inside the park part to investigate this place. You're going to go to the bridge. But I kind of want to correct myself here, saying that this place is in the middle of nowhere. It is and it isn't. There's two sides to that story, just like everything. You're about to see the investigation. This is a place that has always been very challenging for me. I tried 3 times to get this investigation right. 3 separate years. This is my first attempt. Again, with no night vision equipment. You're about to see a video shot with this little rinky-dinky camera.
I have goosebumps right now because I swear I just heard somebody running out here. I think I've seen enough for today. We're just going to come back at night and see what we can find. I'm coming back with my homeboy David. Safety in numbers. I'm going to take off. But this is really an amazing location.
Later that night, I returned with my friend David to investigate the bridge. It wasn't long before we started experiencing strange activity.
What?
Same David from the first video. Again, we shot both of these on the same night.
You hear that shit?
No, what you hear?
All kinds of rustling back there.
Rustling?
Yeah.
Are you sure you heard something?
Back to the right.
We are way above the ground, David.
We tried to investigate further, but again, we heard that rustling sound.
Yeah, I know. I heard that too. What's that, bro? Are you out of here?
At this point, you can hear this rustling sound that David and I had just heard come down much closer to us.
What is that shit? What is that shit? What is that shit?
There was no explanation for this sound as we were on a wooden bridge and the drop below us was several feet down.
I mean, it's such a drop off to down there.
Okay, so a couple of things going on. I gotta listen to David being scared again. I'm sorry.
There was no explanation.
I gotta find that clip again. David was like, we didn't last very long out on this bridge. A couple of things. There's planes flying by. It's near the Austin airport. You hear a plane every 5 minutes. I mentioned a minute ago, I've tried to investigate there 3 years in a row. Always challenging because of the audio contamination. At the end of the bridge, you'll see cars come by on a major road, so you'll get car sounds. What we were scared of was probably mostly in our head. But it was creepy, especially because of that massacre house.
What's that, bro? Are you out of here?
At this point, you can hear
That's when he's gone. He says, "Peace out. I'm out of here. I'm not gonna deal with this stuff." He says, "I am gone." It cracks me up.
this rustling sound that David and I had just heard come down much closer to us.
What is that shit? What is that shit? What is that shit?
That's one scared dude. But that sound is real. We heard that rustling, and I think we'll see in a minute. I haven't watched this video in a long, long time, but my memory, as I recall, my memory, that rustling kept getting closer and closer to us. And yeah, it might have been an animal. Who cares? We were scared. David was especially scared. I was laughing at David. David was scared. I started getting scared because he was scared. And that's really something that happens on investigations. Somebody freaks out, doesn't keep it cool. Things are going to become ghosts there or not.
There was no explanation for this sound as we were on a wooden bridge and the drop below us was several feet down.
I mean, it's such a drop off to down there.
And feeling that we have experienced enough, we decided to call it a night and go home.
Make sure you tune in on Wednesdays for part 2 and part 3 of our Haunted Places series, and you can follow me on Twitter at @TweetAlejandro. In the meantime, this is all.
Yeah, so this was the old set. Part 2 and part 3 of my Haunted Places series. So it wasn't supposed to be The Explorer. It wasn't supposed to be a web series. It's just me there with glasses in my garage, shooting random videos. This time up, I was going to shoot videos on haunted places. And what happened was I did more videos after that. Here, I'm going to turn this off. I did some more videos after that, and people kept asking me for more ghost hunting videos. When are you going to do more ghost hunting videos? When are you going to do more ghost hunting videos? People were actually asking for them. And then a group called Southern Arizona Ghost and Paranormal Society, SAGAPS, who had been watching all my other random videos, besides the ghost hunting ones, asked me if I wanted to join them in Tombstone to shoot an investigation with their channel. And that's the first time I got real good training. The first time I realized that there was people who did the stuff I had seen on TV, but in real life. And that it wasn't like the stuff on TV, obviously. Then I'm in another group called Alameda Paranormal. Two groups that I have really strong ties and relations with over the years. And Hector Barragan from SAG Ups ended up on a show called Killer Contact on the Sci-Fi Channel. That group is pretty much no longer active. Alameda Paranormal, hit or miss as well. They come and they go. I don't forget. They had my back in the beginning. They showed me a lot, and for that I'm forever grateful. So Lori says she loves to watch ghost hunting videos in the dark. Don't blame you. I watch a lot of YouTube videos in the dark too. Angela's talking about the time my friend chickened out. Yeah, it was hilarious. That dude's like 6'5", and I'm like 6'2", 6'3". If it was really something that was alive, we probably could have handled it. But back to my point about investigating in Arizona with a random group on the internet, and Clavin's asking me if I'd want to join him in Central California. I have done it several times. Concho Valley Paranormal, Dylan, I'm not sure if you left. That's a group that I started investigating with this year. I've gone on their investigations. I've invited them on ones that I've done. Robert, Sandra, Bearford Paranormal, if you were watching, one day I have to go to the Northeast and join y'all. I've done it several times. I think one day I'm going to do a video of all the different paranormal groups that I've collaborated with. Some people stick around, some people don't. Angela, I'd like to see that video. I'll have to look your channel up. Here, I'm looking your channel up right now. I just hit subscribe. Okay, Angela? I just subscribed to your channel.
Okay, 2 hits.
Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Let's see, who else is in here? Who else makes videos? I'll subscribe to you right now. Kevin Gomez. It's got some museums of Porterville Ghost Society Museum. Clavin, I just subscribed to your channel right now too. So I'll be checking out your paranormal videos. Now, real quick, because I'm about to wrap up. And Lori has a question about what states I think are most haunted. Lori, let me answer that question real quick, because then I'm going to wrap up. I just think that every different parts of the country have different things. California, Arizona has a lot of Southwest mines, ghost towns, Wild Wild West. Texas, where I'm from, has a little bit of everything. There were 6 flags over the state of Texas. That's why the amusement park is called Six Flags. Spain, France, Texas, Mexico. Texas was a country of its own. United States. Dang, who was the 6th one? Did I say 6? I don't know. So you get a little bit of everything. You get missions, Victorian houses, old buildings. The Northeast is really interesting. Much older. Much older than stuff now. It's a whole lot different. In some ways, a whole lot creepier. So if you're really foregoing something creepy, I think the Northeast is kind of like some of the creepiest areas out there. But just to wrap up, because we've been going at 1 hour and 15 minutes, I really want to encourage you, if you're a Dead Explorer fan, to do something real quick. There's been a big controversy as of late that YouTube is broken. Some of the big channels, like PewDiePie, have done videos about how people are complaining about being unsubscribed. We're not getting notifications. I've seen my views go down dramatically. So if you are having a hard time getting my videos, or if you're a brand new subscriber, when you're on my channel, and I'm going to do this on another channel I own called Ranger Dash Productions. It's the name of my production company. I do commercial work. Hopefully one day I would love to produce quality paranormal TV shows. But if you want to make sure you get my videos, anywhere you see the subscribe button, on the channel, if you're already subscribed, make sure you click on this bell. And then click on this box, send me all notifications for this channel. It might be blank, just click on it, hit save. That's the only way to guarantee you will get my videos in your timeline. This is actually a black belt test my production company shot. If you're watching from a channel, from a video, just click on the bell, same thing. So do that, please. It helps you more than you know. Like I said, I do hope one day I get to create quality paranormal content. There is stuff I am a fan of. There's stuff I'm not. And the kind of credibility of saying people like my videos, it's going to help me do that. It helps open doors. So if you're a fan, you want to see the channel grow, I need your help. You'd be helping more than you can believe. And if you're just checking out this video, wondering why is this guy talking about an hour about one of his old videos, well, as you've probably gotten, hopefully, the feeling for some of my opinions, is that I'm very passionate about the paranormal. Check out some of my newer videos. Big difference. I'm really proud of the work. I try to show it for what it is. No gimmicks. No tricks. No fake acting. I'll let the investigations speak for themselves, which is what I think sets me apart from other channels, I hope. So if that sounds like something you like, if you like ghost hunting shows, you like ghost hunting videos, then this is a channel for you. Subscribe, because I do this channel on Fridays to chat, go back, behind the scenes stories, never before seen footage like tonight. I'm wondering if people have been watching this channel for a while, even knew these videos existed. Also on this Tuesday, a very big announcement. I'm going to try another live show. It's called Paranormal News Live. And that one's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be a show where I have a guest. We're going to go over the strangest, most bizarre stories of the week. The guests won't always be paranormal investigators. Sometimes they'll be musicians, journalists, like movie journalists, like my friends who write movie reviews and things like that. People who have none to do with the paranormal, and then some people from YouTube. Some other big, not big, well, that sounds cheesy or bad. Not really what I meant to say, but some other YouTube channel paranormal investigators. Some of them might be big, yeah, sure. but also people that have been in my videos and whose stories have never been heard. And so we'll have a lot of fun. We'll talk about these really bizarre, strange stories, get to know more about the guests, get their opinions, and it'll be a lot of fun. So that's going to premiere Tuesday, 8 o'clock Eastern, way earlier than the Tonight Show. I'm still trying to get Tonight Show to an earlier time. It's partially getting the kids to bed, partially having to drive to my office, partially getting all this stuff set up. I might do this show in the future in the middle of the day if I'm not working. I'm self-employed, so my schedule is different week to week. But thanks again for tuning in. This is the third one of these shows. If you want to see the shows keep going, just let me know. I guess sooner or later I'll figure out if people dig these or not. For now, I'm having a lot of fun. I hope you're having fun too. I had a lot of fun with everybody in the chat room. Hopefully, I got to answer some of your questions. One last request for a sub from Rusi. Rusi, I'm your first subscriber. There you go. I subscribed. And hopefully, I think Robert, Lori, epic YouTubers, I got you. Assuming your channels don't have anything weird, okay? I'm a family man, guys. Epic YouTubers, I just subscribe to you. So I appreciate y'all being on here. Again, a couple ways to keep in contact with me, commenting on the videos. I think everybody knows I really try to reach back, answer questions, answer comments. But you can also reach me on Facebook, facebook.com/TheExplorer. Twitter @TweetAlejandro. That's where you'll get a lot of non-paranormal stuff as well. Big surprise, Hulu followed me today. Hulu. That's awesome. But I'll talk about movies and sports, what I'm watching on television at the time. Talking to random people. A little bit more fun, more personal stuff. Not always paranormal. If you follow me and for some reason I don't follow you back, just bonk me on the head. Say, Alejandro, I watch your shows. I'm a big fan. Follow me back. And I'll definitely do it. And on deadexplorer.com, all the videos, plus the newsletter. The newsletter, actually, I just sent one out yesterday. It has the stories I'm working on for Tuesday's paranormal news show already in the newsletter. So if you want to read these stories from around the internet of like strange stuff that's going on, just subscribe to the newsletter and those will be coming out. Also be more behind the scenes previews. I extended the Black Friday sale on the Dead Explorer t-shirts. The ones that look like the skull. I have some back here. You see them? I extended that for newsletter subscribers. They're getting 25% off. I sent them a coupon yesterday. It helps support, keep the show going. The show keeps going. The investigations, the locations, they're asking for $200, $300 to go investigate. It keeps the show going. The hotels have been, when I go to out of town, which is all the time. So go to deadexplorer.com, sign up for the newsletter. I think you'll find it to be great. Don't spam. I don't spam. It's just entertainment. I mean, just kind of the stuff I got in my head, writing it down. What else? Hopefully I'm going to do some interesting scripted stuff next year. More news on that in the future. Oh, I was going to show y'all the sneak peek of the next investigation video that I'll be editing. I think I took up so much time saying goodbye. It'd probably be awkward to start over and show you something new. But I am working on another investigation video from Rio Grande City. Ouija board. Some interesting stuff. It was a tour. I took them on an investigation, a whole group of people who have never investigated in their lives, so it was really interesting to kind of see them doing that for the first time with me. So that's coming up too. But that's it. Thanks for staying up on Friday night, early Saturday morning in some places. I appreciate all of you. Have a wonderful weekend. Take care of those who love you. Love yourself. And I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.